Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this next video thing. Today we're talking about the new expansion that was just released. About I don't know, about a few hours ago, about 3 hours ago for me. I've just been reading up about everything, watched the live stream. It's all looking very promising. So the new expansion is called World of Warcraft Legion. It's based on the idea that the Burning Legion has finally returned to Azeroth to exact their revenge after the events of the Burning Crusade. And they've added a slew of very fan-pleasing features, as well as some other features that I think are quite interesting. So we're just going to go through them one by one whilst the trailer plays off in the background. You can see some of the stuff for yourself. So, the first thing, of course, is the new continent. And this new continent is going to have a bunch of zones for us to look at. It's themed around the areas of the world that were presumably destroyed by the Maelstrom, but ended up not being destroyed by the Maelstrom. So it's actually a lot of Night Elf stuff. There seems to be a few hints at some of the Northrend stuff peeking as well. We've seen some Valkyr in the trailer, and you might see that eventually. Okay, so the Broken Isles. It consists of 6 different zones and a main hub. The first one is High Mountain. You have Stormheim, Val Sharar, Suramar, Azuna, and Thaldranath. Now, from what I saw from the live stream, we have Suramar, which is like the ancient capital city of the Night Elves back in when it was all one continent. Stormheim seems to be where the Valkyr are located. It seems to be quite like a Nordic place, but that wasn't shown on the live stream. High Mountain is very rough terrain that is probably going to be the highest level zone that we go to, and that's apparently got some of the hardiest creatures that the new place has to offer. They showed off Val Sharar, which is what they called, like, it was very dense, very filled with different forest stuff and a lot of Night Elf culture there. And Azuna as well, there's a lot of Night Elf culture there. Like, if you're going looking for examples of ancient Night Elf lore, then that is the place that you want to go to. And these are only some of the zones that are showing up. But we also have new dungeons and raids coming with this, including the Emerald Dream. Now, the Emerald Dream was always a place that people wanted to go to as an expansion, and it was even teased in vanilla World of Warcraft when they were developing it. For some reason or another, it was cut from the final schedule, but it did look promising when they were designing it. Now, the Emerald Dream is apparently going to be part of a raid, which is not necessarily what everyone wanted, but, you know, you can't have everything, and it'll be cool to have the Emerald Dream in some way, shape, or form. Apparently, also, the Titans are going to be evolved at some point in the storyline. Now, there's been a short cinematic trailer that was released that featured Gul'dan after his escape from the demons in the end of Warlords of Draenor 6.2, and the image shows Illidan Stormrage, who is, of course, the villain from the end of the Burning Crusade and a famous demon hunter. And if we're going to be fighting demons, especially the Burning Legion, we're going to need demon hunters on our side, and that is what the new class is. Unique to Night and Blood Elves, with a starting zone that is akin to the Death Knight zone. It's its own little instant storyline. The new class is the Demon Hunter, which is another fan service thing that they've wanted to do for a while. Basically, showing that, you know, they're really interested in giving that sort of stuff to the fans. The Demon Hunter has been wanted for absolutely years, basically, ever since they first appeared with Illidan Stormrage and some of that other stuff. Even back in Warcraft 3, everyone's wanted to see the Demon Hunter class, and everyone thought it would originally be a hero class, but apparently it's just going to be a normal class. We're not sure what level it's going to start at, but the starting zone is going to feature some storylines from the Burning Crusade, where an elite group of the Illidari, which is what you are, the Demon Hunters, has been sent into Sargeras' prison realm to go and do something for him. I'm not sure what it is exactly, they haven't really told us those details. But that's where the starter zone is going to go. That's really cool. It's going to have two specs. One is a DPS spec and one is a tanking spec, and they are both based on different aspects of the demon that you have to have inside your soul if you were to be a demon hunter. So that's going to be pretty cool and brings into the lore as well, something that, you know, is really cool to have. Along with this, of course, new zones, new continent, we've got new levels. You can now advance to level 110 as soon as the expansion hits. They also mentioned in terms of storyline that the story is going to be connected between 6.2 and Legion during the break in between. And speaking of the break in between, the beta is going to begin by the end of this year, which means that we're looking at an expansion release sometime in spring, probably Q2 of next year, I reckon, which is a pretty speedy time, and it means that they can probably release a deluge of new content when they go to BlizzCon, which is in a few months' time. So beta is going to be this year. Another zone, which I forgot to mention, which is on this list now that I've just seen it. Dalaran is returning as the main hub, like it was in Wrath of the Lich King. So for Burning Crusade, we had Shathra City. For Wrath of the Lich King, we had Dalaran. For the Cataclysm expansion, it was the original cities, basically, Stormwind and Orgrimmar. And then for Mr. Pandaria, it was the Shrine of the 7 Stars / 2 Moons, based on your faction. In War of Draenor, it was Ashran, or wherever it was for the hall. I can't remember what it is, I never really played them. Sorry about that. So yeah, this one's going to be Dalaran, so everyone's really pumped to see Dalaran returning, as am I. I love that city, it's going to be awesome. Another thing they're introducing, which is quite interesting, is the artifact weapons. Much like Lord of the Rings Online's legendary weapons, I got from a note somewhere on an article. Basically, it means that you're going to get an item that you're going to carry with you throughout your experiences in the expansion, and that item is going to level up with you as you go. And with that is going to come loads of cosmetic features that you can do. It's a really awesome visual customization system that allows you to change the look of your weapons, something that prefers maybe your transmog, which is the way you want to look at the weapon, and also allows druids to customize their shape-shifting forms, which I think is really cool. I'm just going to take a quick drink. Okay, so that's artifact weapons. They seem like they're going to be quite a big part. Another thing is a new PvP honor system. From what I got from it, it seems to be like PvP talent trees of sorts that are placing less emphasis on levels and more on just skill and ability, which is quite interesting. And I think in the PvP community, that's probably going to be quite welcome. I think that the level shouldn't have an effect on PvP really anyway. Another thing they've announced is the class order halls, which from what it looks like in the trailer, it looks like a continuation, really, of garrisons, in that basically with the Horde and the Alliance at each other's throats for some reason, I'm not sure why. If they can band together for the Iron Horde, then I'm sure they can band together for the Burning Legion, you know, those big bad guys. Yeah, so basically this is going to be the thing. You're going to go to a class order hall, and every class has its own hall, and the classes are banding together, and you're going to become the head of this place, and with that is going to go an emphasis on less followers that are more important to your storyline, and things that are going to place far much more emphasis on your class. So you're going to get a lot more class customization as well, by the looks of it, which is quite interesting, because we saw teasers of that before Mr. Pandaria release, I think it was. We were showing things like tomes for paladins, and all these things that were customizable and visual things that differentiated the class. It's been quoted as being the biggest demonic invasion of Azeroth ever, and that's going to be pretty awesome. So yes, once again, the beta is this year. Any other features, I suggest you go look at the trailer or watch the 2-hour-long live stream. I think that's where you're going to get the best information from. We're going to be talking about this again in my next video, but from now, that's everything for the World of Warcraft Legion sum up. If you have any questions or want me to find out anything else, please leave a comment. As always, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.